Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name's Carter. I'm joined by Nate for another exciting live episode of the Quack Report, which we do every Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you're just listening to this after and you're like, live episodes, what? Or if you're brand new to the show. YouTube and Twitch at Quack Report Pod is where you can catch us live. We'll get some comments from the chat up earlier, potentially, if they're appropriate, if we feel like, engaging with other people. Sometimes we're a little introverted and we just want to not engage with other people. So we just ignore all the
I think that's more for you overall.
Yeah, that's for me. Yeah.
that's definitely for you. So I'll try to bring them up if we're in the middle of a good talk, unless it's relevant to it, I'll wait until there's a second.
Yeah.
But typically we will get to the comments. So.
No, and I always love hearing from the chat too. Just it's a bit, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying a bit.
You're just helping that you are definitely the introvert out of the two of us.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's not even the question. Yeah.
No, I mean you're just reinforcing it. Just if there was just the that 0.01% chance of doubt in anybody's mind, I just solidified it. Yep, 100%.
Yeah. That's I think that's really all I got to say for where to find us and all that kind of jazz, because otherwise you've already found us. You know where we are. So
yeah, I mean
at Quack Report Pod, I guess on the socials we can plug that too. I usually leave it till the end, but
there you go. Not where we live though. Please don't try to find where we live.
No, yeah.
I mean I guess we've said the city enough times, but specifically where we live.
Yeah,
please don't.
if somebody messaged us on Twitter at Quack Report Pod and was messaged you the Google Maps of your house, or the Google Street View of your house, what would you be freaked the fuck out, or would you just
Absolutely.
be yeah?
Absolutely.
Would you be upset? Would it cause you to move? Would you be we got to get the fuck out? We got to move somewhere else. I got to throw my phone into the river, get rid of every piece of location tracking technology ever, and just start fresh.
I don't know about that, because I do like where I live, to be honest with you. It would just be a quick phone call to the police, I think. But
yeah. What if it wasn't even malicious? What if it was just a regular chat listener and they were like, yo, I found out where you live. And then it's they got the Google Maps view. And it's you unlocking your car or something.
Yeah, no, I feel like if you're trying to find my house, it's a bit more than just, oh, let's go for a treasure hunt and see if we can find Nate's place. No, there's something behind that there probably.
Yeah. Well, what if they just they wanted to send you a Ducks hat or something? They found one and it was
then you can message me and probably ask for my address. But even then, I might not do it that way. We'll see.
Yeah. Open a PO box or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I was thinking I probably unless it was someone I'm gonna come to your house and murder your entire family kind of thing. Then I would be freaked out and I would do something about it. But if someone was just oh my god, I found where you live. Is this you standing in front of your house? I'd just be impressed that they found that, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You put it that way. Yeah. Just impressed in that sense. But other than that, I'd be a little freaked out, especially considering I guess my main thing of social media is Twitter, right? And I think out of my personal account has over 900 followers, I think, and I maybe off the top of my head 5 know where I live, have been to my house kind of thing.
Yeah, it's fair. When you said personal account, I thought you meant not the Tate Nomis one. And I was like, but that's the only one I follow you on. Are we not good enough friends?
Yeah, I got a burner. Whenever you see that there's a quote tweet on one of your tweets, but you can't see what it is, that's my private burner. That I'm just the entire thing is just dedicated to roasting you.
Sometimes that does happen. So
it does, yeah.
Where I get a quote tweet and I can't see who it is. Are you sure you don't have a burner?
I'm positive. I've thought about it a few times, honestly, just to fuck with some people. But
okay. I was going to ask what you would use it for, but to fuck with people is
to fuck with people, or take a look at a couple of the accounts that I'm blocked on that I was okay, maybe I shouldn't have or like would it be nice not to get blocked? Like as a Flames fan, every now and then you want to see the type of shit that Eric Francis tweets out, which I mean, I can take a look just on the TQR thing as well, but I'm trying to, leave that mainly Duck stuff, I guess, on the feed. And if you keep searching up Calgary stuff, it'll put more of that in there. And I'm like, I have my normal, like my personal account for that. So
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna make it burner after this.
Yeah, go for it. Do it. Just like start disturbing the peace over on Duck's Twitter. It'll be great.
Exactly. No, I think we already have our dedicated person for that, and they don't come around on Twitter anymore. So
fair. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything else exciting going on first half of this week for you?
Nothing too crazy that I can think of offhand. Yeah, no, nothing.
Cool. Yeah. Nope, nothing here either. So
chill, I guess. So
excited for hockey to start again. Like, I mean, I know hockey was going on last week too, but neither of the teams I really pay attention to were playing, so I just kind of didn't watch any hockey.
Yeah, it was like a week off from Anaheim, obviously, and Calgary. Like they had the same amount of the same amount of time off kind of thing. Yeah. Like started both on the Monday and whatever. So yeah, I kind of just like obviously like I still saw highlights or whatever, or like listened to like 32 Thoughts and stuff like that, right? Still kept in the loop that way, obviously. But yeah, just kind of didn't really do much. So mind you, though, wasn't able to probably watch much hockey anyway with the amount of homework that I had. But
yeah, it's fair.
It's it was kind of nice just to decompress every now and then a little bit, right? Even from something that you enjoy, right? Just being so wrapped up in it as you and I are, it's kind of nice just to sit back for a second. So
it is a lot to be able, or to like not be able to like, I guess like not have to, because like we do miss the odd game, but like it is a lot that every night basically there's a game that you want to watch on, whether it's for me Edmonton and Anaheim, or for you Calgary and Anaheim, or even just like just throwing something on while where you're at home by yourself and you just want something while you eat dinner, and you're like, well, I'm just going to throw on hockey. Like it does get to be a lot when it's just there's always a game on, and then when you don't have a game on, I'm like the first day I'm like, oh sweet, there's like no hockey, like I can just do literally whatever I want. And by day 2 I'm like, just somebody just like give me a hockey puck, please. Like it just feels so weird.
someone high stick me in the face, come on. See, no, I'm not that way. Like I enjoy just having games on or that kind of thing, but having to like be wrapped up in like almost every detail of both those teams, right? The Ducks obviously because we talk about it here, and the Flames because every now and then I'm still brought on to some show or another to talk about them as well. So it would be nice to know what the fuck I'm talking about, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then just to compare things around the league, right? Like I'm trying to keep up with league news as much as possible. And so I'm like as dove into that as I can be and whatnot. And so, yeah, it gets a little tiring at times, but I don't know. I love the sport though.
But we obviously still enjoy it. We're still here every week. Yeah. What is this? 238 episodes later. So
yeah, exactly. So, and yeah, like I said, like for me, having a game on kind of thing, like that's it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for here?
It's like
it's like a comfort zone. Yeah. Almost. It's just like have a game on in some way or another, or like or highlights, or like the Steve Dangett's on Sportsnet or anything like that. So
you're right. There is a term for it though. It's like how Friends. It's like the comfort show, but there's like another term for it. Yeah. For like 90% of people, they're like, oh my god, Friends is like my comfort show. But there's another word that's not.
I don't remember what it's called offhand.
Therapy show. No. Safe zone.
I was gonna say anxiety show, but that's not it.
No, but it's like, it's gonna bug me. I'm not gonna be able to go through the rest of the episode.
Is it not just comfort show?
I don't know. I thought there was a different word for it. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking of comfort food. Comfort
maybe.
Shows, maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, BuzzFeed has a 19 comfort shows that feel like a warm hug article, so I guess it is probably just
called comfort show. Yeah. Sweet.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that until BuzzFeed comes out with a new article that has some new hip lingo on it. But yeah.
But I guess before we get started, what's your comfort show? I don't think I've never, I guess, like seen you like in the time that like we lived together and everything like that, like have like a comfort show. I don't know. Do you have one?
Not really. I don't really enjoy watching things more than once.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Whether it's a movie or a TV show or like even like books when I have time to read. Like I don't generally read the same book twice. Like it takes a lot for me to watch or experience like some entertainment thing multiple times. The only exception to that would be like the big like film franchises, which would be like, you know, Marvel or like Lord of the Rings. But like it's not like I watch them like, you know, every month or something like that.
Yeah.
But every once in a while I just get in the mood for it. It's like, okay, I'm just going to go through all of the Marvel movies or whatever. Or it's like, I just want to watch all of the old Spider-Man movies. So, but it's been like, oh my God, I haven't seen that movie in like 5 years, 10 years, whatever. So, yeah. Or it's like to watch a show with somebody else that I've seen, but they haven't. So then I'm like watching it, knowing what's coming up. But again, it's been a few years since I've seen it, but I'm like anticipating things that are happening and watching their reaction. So yeah, I guess I don't really have a comfort show.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. I guess probably the closest, I guess if I had to pick one, I'd say How I Met Your Mother. Cause like every once in a while, I'll just throw on like an episode of that.
Except for the very last one.
Well, yeah, that's not.
I still remember like when I started that show and you were just like, you kind of brace yourself for the last episode. He's like, it's kind of controversial. Like you might love it, you might hate it, kind of thing. And I think I called you as soon as it was done. I was just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
But just I'm not going to spoil just in case anybody hasn't watched it yet and was planning on it, kind of thing. But I'd have to say if I had a comfort show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it was available, because it was for a while in Canada, but that 70s show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, have you seen that 90s show?
Yeah, I've watched that already.
You have?
Yeah.
Cool. But would you recommend?
I would recommend it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's still, it's definitely like its own thing, but it's still like has that feeling, I guess, of that 70s show. That's not trying. I don't know how to put it. It's not trying to be nostalgic, except for when like, you know, like a that 70s show cast member makes an appearance kind of thing. Then it's kind of the, oh, hey, look, it's them. But after that, it's just, okay, it's what it would be anyway. So no, I enjoyed it personally, and I'm hoping there's a second season. I haven't heard of one yet. So but
sweet.
Yeah.
If anyone else has a comfort show, then feel free to let us know. Unless it's Friends, because that's everyone's answer. I mean, if you like Friends, that's cool. Like it's a good show. But if you've got like a obscure, I don't know if like your comfort show is like, I don't know, NCIS or like something like that. That's like, I feel like that would be an obscure one. I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure though I've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine through at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Oh wow.
So yeah. I'm always down to watch that show. So and the
or Dexter. Wars. Dexter would be a weird comfort show. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that one would be a weird one.
It's like the point is that it's uncomfortable. I think I've never really watched it, but
or something like Criminal Minds, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
like the more weird ones. But one thing that's not very comforting, generally, is experiencing Anaheim Ducks hockey. So
can I give you? I was going to say actually before, because I didn't know where to put this exactly in the outline.
Okay.
But you also gave the perfect segue. But something maybe more uncomforting, I think, than watching Ducks hockey. So if I don't know if you saw this on the Ducks social media. I believe they put it out today. Yeah, it was today. Okay. So the Ducks are advertising their superhero night when the Sabres come to town on the 15th there.
Okay.
And
of February.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a week.
And they're doing these Trevor Zegras action figures.
Okay.
I
haven't seen this, so it's going to be my raw reaction.
10,000 people in attendance get one of these figures, and I kind of want one. So that's a case where if somebody wants to mail one to me, sure.
Yeah. Get on it now. Finding him on Google Maps. That can be
Yeah.
your weekend activity.
Exactly. So
we'll give you a head start. It's in Canada.
yeah. So here's the toy.
Okay.
Right. So it's the
the
reaction
dish
from
again
the
reaction.
from the, which I still love that they're like, obviously, you know, he's going to be part of it, but Sonny Milano, like they're still like clearly showing him in everything, even though he's not a Duck and just signed a 3-year deal in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have kept him. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
But like I like the idea of doing the suit, like doing like a Zigger's action figure, and I don't think they've really done anything besides like the dude shirts for that moment. That's
true.
You know, like a
on
big thing, I
packages.
guess. And on highlight packages or whatever. But like, and I get it. It's a semi-rushed figure for a hockey team. But like, man, did they have to do Trevor this dirty?
Yeah.
He looks like a blow-up doll. Honestly, that was the first reaction I had. He looks like a blow-up doll. Tell me.
I mean, that was my first reaction too, so you're not wrong. Okay. But
I was gonna say, yeah, like tell me I didn't just ruin this for you.
No, right? No, like you literally pulled it up, and I was like, I know what they're going for, but that's that's something.
The lifeless, wide open eyes, the too open, even for that moment, too open, like bright red mouth.
Yeah. On the bright side, it's not like the size of what you would find in a blow-up doll, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's
it's something, to say the least.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm keeping this picture specifically though, just for shit posting.
Just like that zoomed in,
or like meme reactions. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping
like
it.
So when the Ducks are like down 3-0 at the end of the first, and then you can just like post that on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like just his facial expression too looks like, oh holy fuck. It's not like oh my god, did you just see that? It's like a I want to die inside kind of expression. Also, did they just not? Is there not a stick with that? Because like obviously in the picture he's holding a stick.
There's just not a stick. By the looks of it. Yeah. Unless they edited it out of the picture just because it might have been awkward, but like
yeah, it's possible.
It is just there's no stick.
Yeah. I would hope that they would have a stick, because like every good action figure comes with accessories. So
yeah, exactly.
It should definitely come with if the helmet's not removable, it needs to come with a stick.
Yeah. So. Exactly. We got Andrew in the chat here saying, how are you doing today? We're doing good, Andrew. How are you doing, bud?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can get into the games, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
just needed to share the Trevor Zegras blow-up doll action figure.
Yeah, I mean, I like how you were like, I didn't know where to put this, so I thought, let's just open with it.
Exactly.
And not like, oh, let's put it at the end so that hopefully like all the kids that are listening are like, I'm going to bed now.
Front and center. This is what like, you're getting.
If this is anyone's first episode, they're going to be like, oh, Jesus. That's where we're going. Okay. Okay, Timmy, you're not allowed to listen to the Quack Report anymore. This is for daddy only, or mommy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we'll start back on Monday night, first game after the All-Star break for the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars, I suppose. Hey. And this was a shootout loss for the Ducks, but I mean, the fact that you're going all the way to a shootout and getting a point against the Dallas Stars is pretty good, if you ask me.
This is a game that, like, throughout it, the Ducks should not have been in on this.
No.
They shouldn't have been. They got outplayed in every fucking aspect.
Oh, well, yeah. What else do you expect?
Actually, no, before I even say that, I should maybe double check. I was going to say, except for goaltending, but Jake Ottinger did do pretty good as well. Yeah, overall, 32 saves on 34 shots.
Yeah.
The Ducks had 7 high danger chances. But then when you compare that to John Gibson, who is the reason that we won this game.
Oh, yeah.
12 high danger shots against, 11 high danger saves, 39 saves on 41 shots against.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And high danger chances?
For the team.
For the Stars, yeah.
Oh, high danger chances for the I said they had 12 high danger shots.
Oh, okay. Oh, I missed that. Yeah. So yeah, a few more. I mean, 5 more than the Ducks, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 12-7. That's a significant difference, I would say.
Yes, especially for high danger chances, right? And considering the amount of shots the Ducks had as well, of 34 to 41.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a little bit of a difference there. So
Andrew saying Stars playing tonight against the Wild. Yeah, last I saw it was 3-0, which was just a few minutes before we started recording. So I don't know if it's any different there now, but they're taking it to the Wild.
3-1 in the second intermission. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I apparently blacked out for like the first little bit of this Ducks Stars discussion. Did you do the deserve to win a meter and expected goals and all that?
No, I didn't, but join the club. Deserve to win a meter, 82.1% in favor of Dallas, just to drive home the point that I was making that the Ducks should not have been in on this game. And the expected goals was 5.24 for Dallas, 2.45 for Anaheim.
Yeah, so really a good goaltending. I don't really want to call it a good goaltending battle but it just kind of more says like,
Gibson had a display by Gibson.
But I mean with Ottinger, like you round up to 3 goals for Anaheim, and he only allowed 2, so like kind of looks like he still had a good performance, but it just sucks that like by expected or goals saved above expected, Gibson outplayed Ottinger, but he still didn't get the win.
Yeah, and I mean, what else is new? But that also is just like almost every goalie against the Anaheim Ducks this season as a whole, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So because usually with the goaltending, we're especially for Anaheim, we're either talking about like, oh, it was great and was a big reason why this game was so close, or that the Ducks won this game even, or something like that, or it's just goaltending wasn't great either, plus no real help in front, and the other goalie most of the time just did their job, right?
Yeah.
So like there hasn't been, I feel like, too many spectacular performances by goaltenders on the other side, just because they haven't really had to.
They don't have to. They haven't been given the opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
in terms of offensive producers here, Silfverberg got his first goal in 15 games. He's been quite, I don't even want to say snake bitten. He's just been quiet for a long time.
Yeah, and I mean that does happen when you're on the third line.
And but for a guy like Silfverberg, like
kind of recently too, relatively, right?
Who, sorry, Lundestrom?
Yeah.
Yeah,
who was like normally centering with him. So like there's been line shuffling over the last little bit. So
it's hard for anybody playing with great players, or he hasn't like been playing with the same guys consistently either. So it does make sense, I guess, that he would struggle. But for a guy like Silfverberg and like what he's kind of done over his career before, like he's been 20, 30 goal. Like I feel like he was close to 40, a couple, like kind of in his prime. I don't know if he ever got there, but
no, the most goals that Silfverberg's ever scored was the 18-19 season, so just before we started. 73 games, 24 goals.
Oh, so he's never even hit 30. Wow.
No.
Okay. But I mean, he's
just always been a steady producer, because he went on a run between 2014 and 2020 before that season got shut down. 39 points, 49 points, 40, 43, 39. So he's always around that 40 point mark, right? But he's just he was one of those guys that was part of that face of the franchise kind of thing, right? Especially having an A on his chest.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just like expect a little bit more consistency from him, so it's just like weird when he's not consistent. But you're right. Everything around him hasn't been, so I guess can kind of give him that. But also when he's playing on, like, he's more than a third liner. So like if he's playing on the third line, he should theoretically be, you know, be able to produce consistently. But
yeah, this year is a little bit of a downer year for him though, comparatively.
Oh yeah.
In 51 games, he's got 13 points now, compared to 53 last year, where he got 21. Mind you, he was playing second line last year.
Yeah.
For the most of it, by recollection. But yeah, it's been kind of a rough go for Silfverberg this year, kind of overall. So
yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, Max Comtois, you had some stats for him here.
Yeah, he was kind of sniffing around the net in this game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get a goal, but yeah, 5 shots on net, 2 high danger chances, and he led the team for expected goal percentage as well. It's rounded 75%. So yeah, he was sniffing around, but just one of the few guys, I guess, that made it kind of difficult potentially for Ottinger there. So
yeah, for sure. Here, I can let you talk about John Klingberg as well here, since
yeah, sure. It was just this is like the one note I had, like, specifically about like a player that when rewatching the highlights again, I just have here John Klingberg owes John Gibson a Wagyu steak dinner after his fuck up in the second period.
Oh fuck! If we're going by by those standards, he probably owes Gibson 1 for every game he's played so far this year.
But especially that one, because it's one thing to, like, you know, fumble a pass or something like that. This is a clean pass across the ice that Klingberg just lets go past him, hit against the boards, and oh shit, there's Tyler Seguin.
Yeah,
takes the puck, right, and Klingberg's just like standing there like, oh, what the fuck happened? Like,
yeah,
dude. But yeah, Gibson though making one of those 3 saves that he probably shouldn't have. I forget who even took the shot. Seguin passed it off, and Gibson was in the splits and then fell over in the splits, got his arm down by the goal line and stopped it. So
they talked about this on the broadcast too. That's the second time that Gibson's made that save in, like, I guess the last 2 games, because we played Arizona just before the break. That, like, totally out of position and sprawls out and does it with
in overtime. Yeah.
It was overtime against Chychrun. Yeah.
Good. I can remember some things.
Yeah. So like, it kind of reminds me in a way of the Vasilevsky, like, behind the back glove save, you know, that he was, I mean, he still sometimes does it, but like there was a string of a few games over one season
trying to do
where he was intentionally doing that, where he's like, okay, I know I'm out of position, but like this works and it looks really cool. This almost like seems like it's kind of one of Gibson's things where like he knows he's out of position and he sticks out his leg in a specific way to be able to quickly like lay down without, like, you know, slamming his body on the ice. And then he gets into the position to make that save. And, you know, realistically, he shouldn't have to, but he's playing on the Anaheim Ducks, so he has to try and make those spectacular saves.
There you go.
Just to, you know, keep things interesting, I guess. But it's almost kind of becoming his thing. I know it's only been a couple games, but if we see it a couple more times over the next 2-3 weeks, then it's sort of the Gibson save.
Yeah, and I think the end part of what you're saying there is your argument against it being a Vasilevsky thing, where like Vasilevsky was intentionally trying to do that almost at a point, right? He's just like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna get back on the highlight reel with this kind of thing because I know I can do it. Which, in fairness, right, if it's a skill that you can do and you've practiced, yeah, go for it.
And it works, yeah.
But John Gibson he's making that save because he has to. I don't think he's thinking about it in that case. He's going, shit. There was no one on top of the crease here, and he is cutting across, and this is the only thing I have left.
Yeah.
Besides, like, swinging my stick. And even then, that's not going to work.
But even then, like, a lot of goalies in that position do just, like, kind of reach to try and, like, you know, swing their stick or poke check it. Or they're like, I'm out of position. I'm just going to look at it because there's nothing else I can do at this point. They're, like, just going to watch them score the easiest goal of their life. Whereas Gibson isn't giving up on that. And even if he looks dumb because he doesn't save it, at least he's, like, trying that save, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, most of the time
it depends, but
most of the time he's trying. There's definitely some that he's just like, yeah, fuck it. And those are the ones where you're like, okay, you definitely had a good chance there though. But anyway, whoever decides to go for Klingberg at the upcoming trade deadline, which from Frank Saravalli on the Daily Faceoff show today sounds like Calgary, Seattle, and the Islanders are potentially in the mix, or at least are fits for a John Klingberg trade. If it is one of those three teams that gets him, or any of the other teams, hope they have fun with that. So,
yeah. Those teams too, like they seem like the I don't want to say the most desperate, but they're definitely the teams that are like, we know that we can make the playoffs and we can potentially make some noise in the playoffs. Like you're not just going to get swept if you do happen to squeak in.
Yeah.
Those three teams, Calgary, Seattle, and the Islanders, seem like the ones that are like, okay, we know we're not necessarily like a contender in the sense that like our expectation is cup final, and anything below that is not okay. Like these are the teams that are like, if we get in, we're happy, but like we all obviously want to still make a push. So I think that, and I think that's kind of what that's the only team that's going to pick John Klingberg. Mm-hmm. Any team that's like, no, we're going for it this year, like that is the ultimate goal. If we don't finish with a Stanley Cup, this season's a write-off. Like that sucks. I mean, maybe not Calgary, maybe they don't fit quite into that mold, but they fall on, in my biased opinion, the desperate mode of like, we need to do something because what we have isn't working. We know we're on the cusp of a playoff spot. We just need to get a guy that hopefully can help salvage this season. Maybe to an extent the Islanders, but I mean, they did just get Bo Horvat, but I think Klingberg would be like that extra piece to push them into the finals there.
Yeah, so. I don't think your take is too biased when it comes to Calgary, especially.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's definitely been a conversation on hockey Twitter of like, should they be buyers or should they be sellers? Should they just stay pat? And whatever. But taking a look at like kind of who are those top teams. Vegas, again, within the division, but wouldn't be the first time that Anaheim and Vegas have tried to make deals, at least. There was obviously the one last year with Dodonov that didn't happen after it did. Ryan Getzlaf was nearly going there. He said so himself. But so Vegas maybe because, hey, no Mark Stone might have some money
until game one of the playoffs.
Yeah, might have some money to throw around a little bit here.
Yeah.
Seattle though is that team that's sitting in second, and I would be very surprised if they got pushed out of that spot in the division. Which again, that's like another in division thing. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like for me,
is it not a 4D chess move to trade Klingberg to someone in your division that you're going to see 4 times though?
That is, if I guess I'm thinking of it in terms of like, okay, wherever Klingberg goes is where he's going to re-sign, right? Because he is a pending UFA. So I guess that's where it's okay. Yeah, if he decides to fuck off out of Seattle after the fact, yeah, sure, that works. Take your take a prospect and a top end pick from a divisional, not rival, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, someone in the division. Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of works. But then if you have to play against him, that's where I'm always kind of like, maybe not. Maybe let's stay away from these 7 teams in particular, because you have to play them quite a bit. So,
just not in this case.
Yeah, exactly. Does Dallas want him back? They're sitting first in the Central Division, and
there's a reason they're first in the Central Division. Compared to
they don't have John Klingberg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that's definitely not the reason. But
what else has changed on their roster?
A more solid goaltending base.
They have the same goalies.
Ottinger's the same. Wedgwood is new this
year. I guess he's new.
So, and he's been playing great as well when Ottinger's been out, right? So
who was their backup last year?
Last year, I think it was Holtby. I think was still around. Yeah, Holtby was still around, and there was always kind of in and out, kind of with that even. Winnipeg, I don't think is a team that really needs somebody of Klingberg's skill set to say.
I don't think so.
Boston's just in on everybody, and we have trade history with them, so why not? Yeah. Toronto's normally a team that's looking for defense, but I don't think they really need to this year. Personally, they've done fine.
They've kind of been okay.
That's been with losing guys throughout the season as well, right?
Yeah.
Carolina is a possibility.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about New Jersey offhand, but yeah, just kind of like looking at like the top two teams for each division there. Yeah, Dallas, Vegas, Seattle, Boston, Carolina would be kind of like my picks for like those top teams that are looking like they're gonna make it.
Yeah,
or
that's fair.
Or, I guess in Boston's case, are 100% sure gonna make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Yeah, and it is kind of interesting actually taking a look, at least for right now. Two of those teams mentioned in Calgary and the Islanders are both just sitting outside the playoffs right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
again, desperate enough to take Klingberg.
Yeah, exactly.
Andrew here, he did say yes, which was I think it popped up when we were talking about Toronto there, because I know he's a Toronto guy. He says Toronto always gets injuries as well. So I mean, you have Klingberg as, I guess, I don't want to say Morgan Riley insurance. I guess whoever the second pairing defenseman is. I don't follow Toronto enough to remember off the top of my head who that is. But
trying to think of who that would be. I listen enough to the Steve Dangle podcast. You think I know the entire fucking roster of the Toronto Maple Leafs by now?
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
That's the problem with these East Coast teams is I can never remember who's on them because I don't watch them play enough.
Currently, it's so first line for the Leafs: Morgan Riley, TJ Brody. So I guess maybe even Brody.
I guess Brody insurance. Yeah, that's kind of when I said second pairing, I meant like second on the depth chart, I guess.
Yeah.
Same side too.
Currently, the second pairing is Justin Hall and the oldest player in the NHL currently, Mark Giordano.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that Klingberg is a better replacement for one of those guys, probably.
Yeah. And then Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren, which are doing just fine from my last knowledge there.
Oh, right. So. Muzzin. That's who I was thinking of. But yeah, Muzzin's out.
He's been out for the entire season, though. So I don't really count him in that right now. Like, I know technically, yes, he's on the injured reserve, but it's almost a question, I think, right now of like, should he even play again? So.
Yeah, but I mean, Klingberg would kind of fill that hole because Muzzin's been a staple back there for quite a few years for Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. Anyways, we got quite far off of the Ducks Stars game.
We're coming up on trade deadline. We're coming up on trade deadline. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're literally less than a month away. It's March 3rd, so it was when trade deadline is. So that's we're kind of looking forward to that. And then now that Horvat has moved from Vancouver to the Islanders, it's that's kind of the first domino to fall, and now we're going to see a lot of other moves.
Yeah,
I don't think directly because of that, but now like the market has been set for trade deadline, so now teams know what to kind of ask.
Market's been set for centers, I guess.
Yeah,
I feel like unless
or forwards in general.
Yeah, I feel like unless there's just somebody I'm missing offhand, I feel like Klingberg is actually the first domino to fall for defensemen this year.
Potentially, I mean, we'll see who like if Chychrun goes before Klingberg, but
oh yeah, that's true. But I feel like he's not going to.
There's also Edmondson, who's rumored to be traded and has been for a while. There's someone else out east. I can't remember who it is, but yeah.
I am taking a look here. I'm just trying to pull
I'm thinking Carlson, sorry, who's out west, but he's another guy that's rumored to go. So
rumored to go, but man, how is any team going to fit that under their cap?
It would have to be a double retention.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we'll maybe get into some trade deadline in a little bit more next week or the week after because we got some other. Actually, yeah. Oh boy, we just keep scrolling here. Yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about. Okay, let's do the Blackhawks and Ducks game next, which went to overtime, but went in the Ducks' favor this time with a 3-2 overtime win. So
the battle of the mids,
the bottoms, not even the power bottoms, just the just the bottoms.
I was about to go, oh, that sounds suggestive, but then you went with the power bottoms, and I'm like, okay, we are going suggestive.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, like I specifically chose mid, not bottom, because the deserve to win meter at 58.9% in favor of Chicago. Goals or expected goals, not too much of a difference. 2.58 for Chicago, 2.05 for Anaheim. And then the expected goal percentage for both teams, 55.7 for Chicago as a team, 44.3 for Anaheim as a team. Just middle of the line for everything.
Yeah.
And like even looking at the just the expected, like cumulative expected goals, like throughout the game kind of thing. Yeah. It's just you could almost put a straight line through both of them. It's just there it is. That's it.
Yeah, that's what one of these teams will eventually go above this line while the other one's below it, and it could go either way.
when you look at like the chance of like winning for this game, it is like just over 50% for the Blackhawks for the vast majority of the game, except for the times that they held a lead. And that was when it was 1-0 and 2-1. Then it jumped to 70% or 74% about. But besides that, it was like just sitting above like just at like 55, just below, basically until you got to overtime. Then it was like straight at 50. So just mid the entire time.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And that first period too, shots 9-6 in favor of Anaheim, if I remember off the top of my head.
Or the way I prefer to say it, 6-9.
There you go. Yeah, just a mid period as well. Just not a whole lot going on. Really, not a whole lot going on in this game. General.
Did anybody expect this to be like the most exciting matchup of the season?
The most high, like considering like who both these teams have while not doing great. The most high profile name that scored last night was Seth Jones.
Yeah. And Patrick Kane got an assist. I think that's kind of it in terms of like the big names.
It. Yeah. Otherwise it was Jason Dickinson was the other goal scorer for Chicago. And then for Anaheim, Vetrano in overtime, obviously.
Yeah, that would be we kind of know it because we follow him, but I don't think a lot of more casual fans would really know who that is.
Marquee name, I guess. Yeah. But also Vetrano 6 goals in his past 10 games, including that hat trick. But that's better than we were sealing, right? So I think for sure. I think the snake might have loosened its jaws a little bit there. Yeah. But otherwise it's Brett Leeson and Jason Megna.
Yeah.
Scoring for Anaheim, the fourth line.
Yeah, exactly. We also got 5 in a game here saying, "What up, boys?" Watching us on Facebook as well. So, what up?
What's going on?
5 in a game. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the chat. I think I haven't recognized your name before, so welcome.
Yeah, welcome. But just not a whole heck of a lot. Brett Leeson's back in the lineup for the first time since January 19th against Columbus. Got 2 goals 2 points on the night. Sorry, not 2 goals. Jason Megna scores his first NHL goal since 2017.
Yep.
The Ducks were in the playoffs the last time that Jason Megna scored a goal.
Yep.
And I did go and count just to see, because he has played a lot of time in the AHL. How many NHL games? 97. So the guys played over
98. That was
98. Okay.
That was 90. Well, 97 in between, and then in the 98th game he scored. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah. Sorry,
so
I went and found stats too. So
over a full regular season of games played without a goal.
Yeah.
So
and
but yeah, put up 2 stats or put 2 points on the stat sheet. Jesus Christ.
I went just a touch further than you on those, and also just for some context on his 98 games without a goal, or 97 without a goal, I suppose. 98th he got the goal. He has only played 187 games, career NHL games, so like not a ton, but that also kind of begs the question: if you go 97 straight games without scoring a goal, what do you like? Why are you still in the NHL? Like that just like why are teams willing to like what is
wasn't
wasn't no but like yeah no exactly but like and obviously this is 187 more games than either of us individually or combined because it's been a big fat zero have played in the NHL, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jason Magno still like throw our jockstraps into the rafters with
absolutely
whatever he can do on the ice.
Yeah, no, that's not even a question. But like, what does he bring to the game that NHL coaches and GMs are like, you know what we could really use? And I mean, maybe this is a question for Pat Verbeek at some point. You know, we can tweet into Duckstream and
why is
maybe someone will ask him eventually.
Why is this the guy out of everybody who's been on the waiver wire this year? And there's been some good players. Why is this the guy that you decided to claim? Because you could have probably had almost any of the other ones, especially when you were sitting 32nd. You would be first in line.
Yeah, exactly.
You want him? He's yours.
Yeah.
Why Jason Magna?
It's free. It's free real estate. Really. Like, there's been tons of good claims this year, and the Ducks have not been part of any of them. And you can't even make but his brother plays in San Jose, so there's that rivalry, and it gives us a little bit of an edge.
No, he plays in Seattle now.
Yeah, he got traded. So like, fucking get rid of this guy.
For a 4th round pick.
Like, thank you, Magna, for your goal and your assist to help us beat the Blackhawks so that we don't get Bedard. Like, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But like, come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's again, I'm not trying to shit on the guy too much because he's played 187 more games than I have in the NHL, but I just don't understand like what.
He's played for 5 teams over that span. The most games that he's played in a single season was 2016, 2017 with the Vancouver Canucks, where he had 58 games played and put up a career high. Oh no, sorry, not even a career high. He put up 8 points in 58 games. His career high came in his very first season in the NHL, 36 games with Pittsburgh in 13-14. We were in grade 11.
Yeah, you're right.
And he put up 9 points in those 36 games.
Wow. Also, I just had some other stats. He's scored in at least a goal in 11 games of his 187 games played in his career. Only one of them being a 2-goal game, which I believe was back in 2017. It was before the February 9th, 2017, which again, 5 years ago. Took him 5 years between NHL goals, which is nuts. And then 5th game, this one was his 5th career game with 2 or more points in it. So, I mean, kind of a reason to celebrate there. It's not very often that, you know, the bottom line guys get 2 points in a game. So, it just really shows that he had a good game, I guess, but it's
the goal that he got even was just tossing it on net. He's definitely a bottom line guy, which every team needs, right? Obviously you have to have a bottom line, like unless it's the Olympics and it's like, you know, Team USA or like Team Canada, and you can go like, oh yeah, I don't know, Mark Scheifele, you're our 4th line center, right? Like, otherwise you need guys like a Magna, I guess.
I just feel like he would be better suited in the AHL in like a middle 6 role, like teaching some of the guys coming up through the system like how to be physical at the AHL and the NHL level, and also like protect guys that are coming up and just, you know, provide a little grit to the AHL.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure he was the captain of the Colorado Eagles, actually, the affiliate of the Avalanche, before he got claimed.
So I mean,
Yeah,
maybe that's the plan, and that's why he's sticking around, and then eventually we can bury him once we have the guys to, fill that roster spot.
Yeah,
But
what's his deal right now?
it's like 750K. I don't know for how long, but
oh yeah, no, that's what I meant. What's the duration left on it? But yeah, Megna in the AHL is definitely a lot more productive overall. In 415 games, he's put up 251 points, 121 of those being goals. So
yeah, so he should be there realistically, and again, zero AHL games played as well, so that's still like very, very impressive.
Oh yeah,
but it's just that's where I would like to see Magna in the system. But
yeah, and overall, there's some guys that are stuck in the AHL, such as I don't know, maybe your Lucas Dostal, who are they're stuck there, right? Because there's just like a backlog in the NHL that like those guys are guys that should be in the NHL for sure. Yeah, Jason Megna. Oh, he's done after this season actually. His contract's up and he becomes a UFA. So
yeah, so could re-sign him, but yeah. Either way, it is kind of cool to see those bottom line guys scoring like Magna and Leeson. Just because it's fun when they score, because it's like when it's Zegras, you're like, oh yeah, another Zegras goal. Of course, this happens like every game or two. But when it's Magna and Leeson, you're like, what the fuck? These guys scored a goal, like nice. And then they're just like, so happy too.
Goals? What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, we didn't really talk about Vetrano's goal. We just kind of brushed past it. You did say 6 goals in the last 10 games, which was cool. But I think the bigger talking point almost was the assist from Lundestrom. Like how he
run me through it. I'm apparently not remembering this right now.
He I forget when he picked up the puck, but I feel like he picked it up in our zone, or in the attacking zone, and then like skated it out, regrouped, skated into the zone, went around the net, and then eventually just found Vetrano like wide open. Like he just kept skating until like the Chicago Blackhawks essentially fucked up and let him get a pass through. And
then
Vetrano made a nice move too, but like just the possession and control and the patience by Lundestrom, I love to see that for him, and that's what you need for a third line guy, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Once you said it, I was starting to remember, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. He picked it up on Mrazek's right side off of. I don't remember who he picked it off from, but
we'll go Seth Jones probably.
Yeah,
makes
sure.
sense. Yeah. Makes it sound more impressive that way.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter Mrazek, for the win, I guess, but no, thank you, because we kind of also want to be lower. The Ducks right now are really confusing for me, and I feel like extremely conflicted, because I'm like, it would be great to have like a Connor Bedard or something like that on this roster, but at the same time, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm double checking right now. Pretty sure in the last 10 games, the Ducks have only had like 1 game without a point or something like that. I could be wrong on that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
there's
8,
at
9.
least 2.
Oh, why don't I just look at the last 10 games? I'm an idiot. Yeah, 5-3-2 in the last 10. So
3 games without a point then.
Yeah, so 20 possible points, and they've picked up 12 of them.
Yeah. And even just in the last 5, 9 of the last 10. Or 9 points out of a possible 10 in the last 5.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Why now? Why now?
Right? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it is, increasing the value of some of the guys in anticipation of the trade deadline, like whoever we're going to be trading.
Yeah.
It does make them look a little more enticing, I guess. But there's still lots of time to tank after we sell everybody on the team. So fear not. But yeah.
I don't know. Chicago's trying to get rid of Taves, Kane, and probably Max Domi as well.
That's true. That's very true. Just while we're on the topic of
try to be shopping, I guess, for those kind of reasons. I feel like there's not
Gavrikov, I think, is kind of the only name I've heard. So
yeah.
But while we're on the topic of the last few games, let's bring up our handy dandy spreadsheet, just because I want to brag for a couple minutes here.
Yeah, you got it.
I did 3-2 Anaheim. Yeah.
And I was kind of laughing because before that game had started, I even kind of thought about it, and I was like, You know what? I might actually want to change my answer to Anaheim, but leave the score.
Yeah.
But I kind of looked and I was like, no, actually, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. And then, yeah, sure enough, Anaheim wins 3-2. And I was like, fuck, we could have both had it right.
We could have, yeah. So, yeah, we'll bring this up again later when we talk about upcoming games here. But that's where we're at here. 52 games into the season. Yeah, I suppose now is a good time to take a quick break. Oh, you know what? You do have one more thing here. I think it'll be quick. Let's breeze through.
Oh, yeah. Just speaking of the why now kind of thing. Why now to suddenly know how to kill penalties? They've killed off the last 11 over a 3-game span of Arizona, Dallas, and Chicago. Now you might go, okay, Arizona, Chicago. You know, Chicago's at a 19.2% on the power play. Arizona at 18.4, 25 and like 25th and 26th respectively, but 5 for 5 against Dallas.
That's impressive.
Are converting at 25% right now.
Good for 6th
in the league.
Or tied for 5th, actually. Oh, sorry, tied for 6th. Tied for 6th.
Yeah, that's like damn. But again, why now?
Yeah, but also in fairness,
this is a penalty kill that's 28th in the league at under 3/4.
73.5%. Yeah, like it doesn't matter how dog shit Arizona and Chicago's power play is, because our penalty kill is still bad. Like that doesn't mean, like it doesn't matter how bad it is. Like it's impressive when you can go 4 for 4 against anyone. I don't care if it's Arizona or Chicago, or I don't even know who's last. If it's Vancouver, oh no, Vancouver's penalty kill is the one that sucks. I don't care if it's Montreal or Philly or the Islanders, like they're all down there on power play, or Edmonton, Ottawa, Tampa Bay, who are at the top in power play percentage. Like it doesn't matter if your penalty kill's dog shit. It's dog shit no matter what. So.
Oh, yeah, Montreal, 15.6% on the power play. Holy shit.
Still not worse than Anaheim a few years ago. What was it, 8.9%?
Yeah, that's true. And not a whole lot worse than us right now. We're at 15.9.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A 0.3% difference. So the two teams between us are Philly and the Islanders at 0.8.
16.8, yeah. Or 15.8, yeah.
15.8, yeah. Flyers, it makes sense. The Islanders should just be better. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but Bo Horvat,
I think so.
Probably help that. And a John Klingberg.
Yeah. Power play specialist John Klingberg.
Maybe.
Well, looking at you. That makes a lot more sense why they might be interested now. But yeah, let's take a quick break here. And then on the other side, we'll do some news, some upcoming games, some Gulls and AHL talk. And of course, we'll wrap up with some What's Quacking like we do every Wednesday. But we will see you guys in just a couple of minutes here.
Are you ready for the biggest Sunday in sports? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action you need. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get in on the Super Bowl 57 excitement with DraftKings Happy Hour Super Boosts. Check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day between 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Pacific to see what prop bet will be boosted. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, that's promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. This time of year, everyone's talking about making big changes, which is all well and good, but most of the time, pretty unrealistic. You've probably found that the smallest changes to your routine can actually make the biggest impact. In the same way, you don't have to break the bank to make a big deal purchase. Even the smallest things can be part of a big change if it's something you use every day, just like Raycon earbuds. Raycon is premium audio at the perfect price point, so you can build great habits without breaking the bank. Whether you're looking for a pair of everyday earbuds, low latency gaming headphones, or a speaker with a battery that will last all night at your next party, Raycon's got you covered. And yep, Raycons start at half the price of other premium audio brands. That means you don't have to choose between products. You can get one of each, or a pair and a spare, and still pay less than you would with some of the other guys. Even if you know you'll love your Raycons, Raycon wants to make sure you feel great about your purchase. They offer buy now, pay later options, and every purchase has an easy and free return guarantee. Ready to buy something small with a big impact? Go to buyraycon.com/THPN today to get 15% off your Raycon order. Again, that's buyraycon.com/THPN to score 15% off. buyraycon.com/THPN.
Alrighty. Let's get to a couple news pieces here. I guess start with the injury update. Troy Terry left the game against Dallas in the first period, is considered day-to-day, didn't play against Chicago. So we will see how he's doing and if he's ready to go for Friday. And I don't think we've really heard much else beyond day-to-day.
Yeah, haven't heard much yet. And yeah, that is the nice part about you hit the back-to-back, and then now you have a 3-day break or 2-day break, I guess, of Wednesday, Thursday. See kind of what's going on, and yeah, hopefully it's not much, and turns from, I forget who was it earlier this season that was like, oh yeah, he's day-to-day, and then suddenly he's on IR, and it's like, what the that's a jump. I forget who it was.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I feel like it was it still ours? I think it might have been still ours.
Might have been, yeah.
But
I don't remember, but
let's hope it's not that. So
yeah. Oh, also, I did want to say, coming out of the break as well, we got Ronnie joining us in the chat as well with a quack, quack, quack. Hope it's been a good evening for you all so far. It has. It's been a lot of fun, and thank you for joining us.
What's going on, Ronnie?
And then the other injury is Urho Vakanainen, placed on IR on Monday with an undisclosed injury. So looks like he's going to miss another few games as well after missing quite a few to start the season. Which is tough for him because he definitely brought some stability to our back end, I thought. And now that he's out, that definitely leaves another hole on the back end. So
yeah, Vakanainen was the equivalent of taking that folded up piece of paper way too many times and putting it under the leg of your table so it doesn't wobble nearly as much. There's still some instability there, but it's at least better.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I was like, what? I don't yeah, you're right. So yeah, that's what we got for injuries right now.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Hopefully those guys are, speedy recoveries to them.
Yeah.
This one I didn't really hear too much about, and I haven't listened to the new 32 Thoughts yet. So feel free to jump in a little bit more here, Nate. But on a recent episode, Elliot Friedman saying that the Ducks will sign Jackson Lacombe following the college season. He was a 39th overall pick by Anaheim back in the 2019 NHL draft. I believe he also played a bit in the World Juniors. I want to say.
I can double check right now because I do have his elite prospects page up. No, not in the World Juniors, but he has played for
USA. Yep.
Where am I missing that?
USA U20 World Junior, 6 games, 1 assist. 2020.
Oh yeah, there it is. Jeez.
Yep.
I was looking at okay. Yeah, there you go. I was looking at tournament statistics and I'm like, I'm seeing U18 here for the Gretzky.
Oh, gotcha. Oh yeah, it's weird they don't have that under tournament. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Because it is different. I don't know. But yeah, so it was in Freeman's 32 Thoughts blog, actually. Point number 15, he said, 2023 Hobie Baker nominee Jackson Lacombe from the University of Minnesota has indicated that he will sign with Anaheim after this season. One of the NCAA's top scoring defenders, Lacombe, taken 39th overall in 2019, could have become a free agent this summer, and there would have been plenty of interest. That is a good keep for the Ducks. Just stalking the defensive prospect cupboard a little bit more, right? So
I'm honestly surprised we didn't have him signed before. it's very rare for a guy drafted that high, I feel, to not
It's
be
rare for a
signed.
guy maybe drafted that high, but he's playing out his full time at the University of Minnesota. This is his 4th season there, right? So he'll
Yeah.
finish his 4 years, finish his schooling, which like
Mhm.
that's maybe not so much unusual, I guess, for
I
NCAA
suppose.
game
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Is there a thing that if he's signed to an NHL deal, he can't play in college? Or can you still
No, nothing for that. It's I think the issue more comes with if he's signed, he can't play in the NHL, or because it's not like he could go for say like a 9-game stint before like burning off the first year of his ELC kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
And then go back to like kind of like go back to the CHL or something like that. If for that thing, the NCAA is if you play any form of professional hockey, you are ineligible for the NCAA.
Oh, okay. So he could be signed but not play a game. But as soon as he plays that one game,
as far as I'm aware, but maybe it is a thing as well with if you're signed, because
if you're signed, it might be like just AHL only kind of thing. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it could also just be like I don't want to have the potential of being called up because I want to play college hockey, so I'm not signing anything. It could be his decision to not sign, but once he hits that 3-year mark, he's like, okay, I will sign now. It could entirely be on him.
Yeah, I am kind of wondering if it is just like they can't even sign. Because you had the University of Michigan last year. Remember, they had Matty Beniers, Owen Power, and Ken Johnson, like all in the top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they waited until the college season was up to sign deals. So I'm kind of wondering if it is that. I don't know as much with NCAA hockey, and that's something I'm still trying to learn a bit more about.
Yeah,
but I think that might actually be the thing. So because
it would make a lot of sense. Yeah,
because I know with the NCAA, like you could go from the NCAA to the CHL, but you can't go the opposite because the NCAA considers the CHL, whether it's the Western League, Ontario, or Quebec Major, that's considered professional hockey by the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
So it might just be like an overall, like if you have a professional contract, right, you're no longer a student technically, so you cannot play for us.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Just taking a look here because Trevor Zegras was obviously a very, very high draft pick for us, and that was in the 2019 draft. We took him. He played for Boston University in the NCAA in the 2019-20 season for them. 33 games. He also played 5 games in the NHL, and then he didn't sign his entry-level deal until March 27th, 2020, which would be about when the NCAA season ends.
Yep.
For a guy drafted, what was he, 9th? Yeah, 9th overall.
Yeah, 9th overall.
That's very strange. So it leads me to believe that once you're signed, you can't play in the NCAA. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm being led to believe right now. I'll have to double check with somebody on that, but
yeah, and the fact that then immediately when the season was done, he was like, "I'm signing, let's go." But didn't
exactly.
play.
Same with Powers, Beniers, those guys from last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure. I think that's got to be the case. So yeah. But anyways, very exciting that we'll have Jackson Lacombe potentially as an option for the Gulls or the Ducks in the next year or two. Well, for sure next year because he can't play NCAA, but it's he'll play somewhere in our organization. But I think he'll be a good complementary player for the Ducks for a few years at least. So
yeah, exactly. And like I said, just kind of stocking up those defensive cupboards there. Yeah, that'll be Lacombe, Zellweger, Minchikov, I was about to say Drysdale.
Drysdale.
That's a solid top 4 in the future right there.
Love it. Yeah.
So.
Yep, absolutely. Let's move on to the AHL All-Star weekend. Obviously on Sunday we talked about the NHL All-Star weekend, but the AHL All-Star weekend wrapped up. I think that one ran Saturday and Sunday, Monday, I think.
Yeah, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
So San Diego's Lucas Dostal was representing the San Diego Gulls and split AHL All-Star MVP honors with fellow Pacific Division goaltender Calgary Wranglers Dustin Wolf,
Nice.
where the tandem stopped 42 of 49 shots in the 3v3 tournament on Monday night. Dostal also picked up 2 assists, which I think ties the record for assists by a goaltender in the AHL All-Star game for as long as it's been. So it looks long on the outline for you, Carter, but it's more just giving some explanation because I did want to make it kind of a talking point as well, just because it's been the conversation over this last week of, we saw the skills competition and the game in Florida, and it's been a lot of maybe even a little bit more of the complaints of what has been over the last few years, right? Just it feels kind of slow. It's not as exciting anymore, whether you're in the building or watching on TV, right? Like you said, you're kind of like you're throwing on the skills in the background almost.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about this a little bit more because there were some comments comparing the AHL All-Star weekend, which was considered by fans and the AHL themselves to be a absolute success. And fans especially just really enjoyed it. And I was seeing a lot of, like, this is even better than the NHL one. And a friend of mine as well, Mike Gould, was there in Laval as well for the All-Star weekend covering it. And he was posting lots about it. And from what I was able to gather, as well as watching the highlights there on the AHL YouTube channel for the skills competition, at least, yeah, it's better. It's better by miles. So a couple comments here coming from the Laval Rockets forward Anthony Richard in an article here from Herb Zurkowski from the Montreal Gazette. He said, "We keep it simple and gave it a great effort. And usually when you combine the two, it gives a good show. If you're trying to do too much, it's a bit boring. Look at the NFL. They're not doing a real game anymore. What's the point of going to see guys if they don't put on the helmets or pads?" We have less budget than the NHL, but I'd say we did a better job overall of showing our skill while keeping it simple for the fans. The NHL has to take note of what we did this weekend. It was a great show. It's all young guys who want to show their skill. You don't want to be the guy who's not trying hard. The game was on TV. Everyone wants to leave a good impression. You want to be the guy that shows his skills on a weekend like that.
I was just going to kind of say, like, just thinking about it when you were like, yeah, the reception was like miles better. I didn't see anything from the AHL one, so I can't compare personally, but it does just sort of make sense. Like it seems like the NHL is trying too hard to make it the most exciting thing that you could possibly watch on your Friday or Saturday afternoon or evening. And I think a lot of it is like because of their budget. They're like, oh, we just got like, millions, thousands, millions of dollars to throw at this event to try to make it exciting. What can we come up with? What can we tell everybody that this is what they want to see? Whereas the AHL and some of the individual team skills competitions just have a much lower budget. So it's like, okay, well, we can do fastest skater. That's literally free. All we have to do is, set up the nets and make players skate around them in a lap. I mean, it's not free. You have to like get, timers, radar guns. Like it's pretty budget. The accuracy shooting, again, you just got to get some styrofoam targets and put them up in the net. Like it's pretty basic. And just to compare that to the NHL, that was one of the most exciting events this year, was the accuracy shooting for them, because they just did styrofoam targets and they were like, shoot the puck, just shoot the puck at these targets. It became lame when they had the digital screen that didn't even fucking work. And it was just
exactly.
like, instead
and then
of
they tried a
styrofoam
different
target,
version,
like
and another version,
Yeah.
and another version. Like I'm pretty sure they tried 3 different versions
they
of
did.
it before they were
Yeah.
just like, okay, yeah, fine, we'll go back to the styrofoam pucks, like
Yeah.
the styrofoam discs, and everyone's like,
Yeah,
thank
exactly.
fucking God.
But like that's exciting because you're like, oh my God, the styrofoam thing exploded. Like they just rifled it through that.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if
Even just seeing
like-
styrofoam explode, like hockey fans are a simple people.
yeah, we're
Like
humans.
big hits, big
yeah.
goals, and shit popping off every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. But like we don't want to
That's why
just
the cannon
see like
works
a
in Columbus.
digital screen covered by a thick sheet of plastic. And
Exactly.
instead of us an exploding styrofoam target, we just hear thunk and then there's like a little light.
Yeah,
Like
or
that's
not.
not what screams
or,
hockey.
or there's no
Or-
light
or
because
just
the
not,
thing doesn't
yeah.
register. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, but so just taking those two as an example, like that's easy. And then just looking at the names, the name of this one event is pass and score. I would love to see people just pass and score. Like,
Yeah,
why do
so
we have to make it complicated?
yeah. So I do want to get to this one last comment, and then
Go
I
for
do
it.
want to
Yeah.
go into what the events were,
Yeah, sure.
because I think a lot of them are enticing and do solve a lot of the NHL's
They're just
problems.
simple. Yeah.
So AHL President Scott Howson responded to comments about the AHL skills competition being more entertaining than the NHL's. He said, well, ours is a traditional skills event. I know the NHL is trying new things, and I applaud them for that. They tried a whole bunch of new things in Vegas last year. They tried some things in Florida. I don't know why they do that, or whether it's player driven, league driven. I don't know.
Not player driven.
I can just tell you that our players are engaged and they got competitive last night. That is exactly what I was talking about on Sunday. Guys do not want to fucking be there, right? And they aren't trying.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest case for it actually is the winners of the fastest skater, which was done the exact same way by the AHL as it is for the NHL. Just to reiterate, the fastest time this year for the NHL fastest skater was Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes at 13.699 seconds, which is pretty damn fast.
It's speedy for sure. Yeah.
And then you had this year for the AHL, Ethan Frank of the Hershey Bears, the affiliate of the Washington Capitals, setting an AHL record as well for this event, 12.915 seconds.
Yeah. Like
that's a
it
whole,
just doesn't make sense.
That's more than half a second.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like you can't tell me that those 8 NHL players aren't faster than this one guy who's in the AHL. Like, yeah, it's entirely possible that the guy's in the AHL because he's literally all speed and no hands. Like there's even guys like that in the NHL that like, man, they can fucking skate and like they got good edge work and all that stuff, but just like brick hands. Like they can't stick handle to save their lives. So like it's entirely possible. That's why he's down in the AHL. But like there's got to be somebody there that can do it in faster than 12. I mean, we've seen some of those guys do it in faster than 12 seconds. They just weren't up for it. So
exactly. And here you go. So Andrew's in the comments saying here, like goalie shooting down the ice and the bench, like it's awful. Definitely, goalies playing the puck is a skill. Don't get me wrong, right?
Yeah.
But is that the one that fans are wanting to see goalies do in the skills competition? No, they're wanting
I
to
want to
watch
see that in the game. I want to see them score a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they're there to watch them make saves.
Yeah.
Right? Like show off that is the main job of a goaltender, is to save shots. And the AHL skills competition had 2 different variations on showcasing the goaltenders. So I'm going to read through, and this is how it went in order as well. I don't have the results for it except for Ethan Frank in particular for the fastest skater.
Yeah.
So you have your, same as the NHL, you have your accuracy shooting. However, the AHL does it the way that we were talking about, how it's just most hits on the fewest attempts.
Yep. There you go. Perfect.
No time on it. And hardest shot, same as the NHL. And the fastest skater, same as the NHL. Now, this is where you get some of the differences in here. The first one I thought automatically, I'm just like, yeah, this is way more entertaining. Is the puck control relay. So players from opposing conferences, the opposing teams, start behind the goal line and straight line, beeline to the opposite goal line, pick up a puck, and then they have to make their way back, puck handling through an obstacle course. So it's just like working on their edges and like going around and like whatever set path that was there for them. When you cross the line, the next player goes.
Yeah.
So, and I think they did like up to 3 guys, kind of thing. And, you know, whichever side wins, they get a point for the overall scoring. So,
I mean, the NHL has done something similar in the past. It was more of like a 3-player relay. So like one person did like the weaving through obstacles, and then at the end of it, they had to pass it to someone else, and then they were like passing into those mini nets, and then after that, it was like there was something else.
And that's something,
and that's exciting too because it's competitive. It's like head to head, and that's so like just some sort of thing that it's simple, and you can visibly see how it relates to hockey, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong, hands are awesome, right? But think of the edge work as well. That made up some of your favorite highlights throughout your life, right? Like almost any Pavel Datsyuk highlight that you can think of the edge work that he did to just like suddenly stop and throw guys, like have guys like launch themselves into the boards because shit, suddenly Datsyuk's not where he was going to be, right? So you have the first goalie challenge, which is the rapid fire. So you have one goalie versus 2 skaters from the opposite conference. Set up about on the face-off dots in the offensive zone. And it's literally just rapid fire. You're going back and forth, left to right, as those guys are ripping shots at you trying to score.
And you know what?
From Ovi's office on both sides, basically.
I only played hockey till I was 8 years old, but that's a drill I actually remember doing. Everyone stands in an arc around the goalie, and you just take shots. Yeah. And you it's not like totally random, but like it's more the goalie's just like facing a shot, and then they're kind of picking the next guy. And like once they're staring at you, you're shooting the puck. Or the coach is like you, and they're like pointing from, off to the side saying, okay, you're going next, you're going next, you're going next. And the goalie doesn't know where, like, it's just a drill. So like, it's simple, but it's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Then we had the hardest shot, again, same as the NHL, accuracy shooting, same as the NHL. Then you get to the pass and score, which is the next goaltender challenge.
Okay.
So this is, the NHL kind of tried to do it, I think, a bit with the Tendy tandem thing. Yeah. Right? Where you had the chance of, 1, 2, or 3 players coming in on you. This entire time was just a 3-on-0 challenge. Yeah. Same thing. Nice. From the opposite team. So Lucas Dostal's facing whoever from the Eastern Conference. And they're going loops. And they're going 3-on-0s trying to put it past you.
Yeah, exactly.
And every goal scored against counts as a point for that team. Or every goal scored, scored for. Counts. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then
sorry, just going back here, Andrew does have something when we were talking about that drill for the rapid fire one. He says we do that too in Special Olympics floor hockey in Canada. So like it's just a thing, and it's probably a fun drill too. Like again, I was 8, so I thought anything hockey related was fun. So, but Andrew, like, tell me what you think of that. Like, if it's fun,
it gets tiring for goalies. I can tell you that because I do it still every Sunday.
But it shows off your skill.
Yeah, exactly. And then the last one was the breakaway relay, which is just breakaway after breakaway,
just shootout essentially. It's a shootout.
Guys it's like some guys were trying some funky things, other guys were just going in just trying to score. Just not saying that the guys that were trying things weren't trying to score, right? But like some were getting flashy with it.
They're having fun with
it. Some were just in the competitive zone of just I'm getting this puck into the net. So it was just one after the next kind of thing. Like once the shot's taken, the next guy's starting to come down. So, so those were the events for the skills competition for the AHL this year, which like that just sounds more enticing overall, right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Like I said, like I watched the highlights and like that looked fun to watch, genuinely. Yeah. So, and then you go into the All-Star tournament the next day, where the AHL's done the 3-on-3 as well. I think it's said since 2017. However, they do it a little bit differently, and I like this version of it.
Okay.
So you have the 4 teams from, you know, each division, right? Yeah. Gets a team there. Teams play only a 10-minute 3-on-3 game against each other.
Okay.
And
do you play each team?
Yeah,
or is
everyone plays everybody.
Round robin style. Okay.
Yep. So, round robin style.
That's 30 minutes right there.
Yep. And I guess like once everybody plays everybody, it's 6 games.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Then, I guess in total. Each team plays 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then they're at the end of it, the top 2 teams in the standings play each other in the final, which is, if they cut it down even, it's a 6-minute 3-on-3 game.
Yeah. So it's essentially, you know, a full game plus overtime is essentially what they're giving.
Exactly. So you can fit it into that TV frame. Absolutely.
And you know what? And that's what I like too. Yeah, I like that too, because then at least you get to see everybody for at least 30 minutes. Whereas here, you're only going to see 2 of the teams for 20 minutes.
Yep, exactly. So, and guys aren't sitting around like Matthew Tkachuk talked about, right? Like, oh yeah, we went out for warm-ups just to sit in here for an hour and a half kind of thing, right? Like, you know that in 10, 15 minutes max, like you're going back out there kind of thing to play your next game. So
yeah, exactly. It's the equivalent of an intermission. I guess I imagine they would probably, maybe every 2 games they might have flooded the ice, because you wouldn't have to do it after 10, and there would be a lot of sitting and waiting around, or maybe they just like did a scrape and just take some snow off.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Mike about that actually.
But like, it definitely moves a lot faster.
Yeah, all this just sounds more enticing to me, and I didn't realize that the All-Star game actually, which is on me, was available to us as well on TSN. Had I known that though, I would have been tuning in because that sounded awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and like seeing like the clips from Mike and whatever, like the production value, like there's like the production level even like for people in the building was awesome.
Yeah.
Like they got lights going off for different things, and like it was good. It was fun to watch the clips that I did. So
long story short, the NHL better be paying attention to what's going on down there, because seems good. So
even in that 32 Thoughts article from Elliot Friedman today, he does go quite a bit at the start about, you know, what the NHL can do to fix it.
I'm sure.
I can give you a couple things just to not, you know, completely read off Friedman's entire article.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But the couple ideas that he has here, at least 2 hours for the skills maximum. And he does say like one of the executives said it probably had to be like 2.5 hours to account for commercial time, but 2 hours,
whatever. It's a game length.
That's it. Yeah. Right. Like the 3 hours like with commercials, like that was a lot. Right. Like there's not the need for that. And he does have here, which we talked about as well, right? We said we missed the draft of it. And he has here, apparently a few players wondered about bringing back the draft.
If enough players ask, that they'll do it, I'm sure. Yeah.
Come on. Remember, this is Gary Bettman in the NHL we're talking about here.
No.
You have Connor McDavid wanting 10 minutes of overtime, 3-on-3, and getting rid of the shootout. And you have Sidney Crosby wanting the league to go back to 1v8, and Gary Bettman's going, oh no, but there's a lot of things we would have to figure out. You figured out how to get it to this point. It's pretty easy to figure out how to go backwards.
No, but that's different, because the NHLPA has a lot of say in the All-Star game. They can easily say, we're not letting our players do the All-Star game, or unless you make this change. And obviously there'll be some back and forth, but in terms of
they're contractually obligated to participate unless there's a lockout, right? So
exactly. But
ready in a couple of years. So
exactly. And then I'm sure the NHL All-Star game will be a big part of that when that does come up, because if enough players are like, this is like, we don't give a shit about this, and we want to, and we want it to be this way. We want to do the draft. Otherwise, we're not doing it, because then it's at least fun. Then that has a lot of pull, and because the NHL doesn't, believe it or not, from a money-making perspective, they don't want lockouts.
Yeah. So. Like Kirill Kaprizov was like upset that he was at the All-Star game rather than on a trip with 16 other Minnesota Wild players during the break.
Yeah, I would be
like,
fuck.
The fuck. Like you have to make it more enjoyable for the people who are actually doing it as well, right?
Yeah.
Or it's obviously going to reflect, and fans are going to notice, right? Which they evidently have.
We have, yeah. So here we are.
So he does continue though. I do want to touch on this though, because he does have a point here. So he's like, it's a great idea for the draft, and he even brings up that the NBA is gonna do like a draft for their All-Star game this year. And they might have done it in the past as well. I'm not 100% sure. Basketball is not my thing. But they do the draft and then immediately play the game. Friedman's cool. idea though is kind of do it like what it was of, like have the draft be the start of All-Star festivities, right?
Yeah.
So say you have it on the Friday, the skills on the Saturday, and the game on the Sunday or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Thursday, I guess, because
or whatever.
Yeah.
Really
so
matter.
Thursday
Whenever
you have the draft.
It, yeah.
Friday you have the skills. Saturday you have the game. Yeah, so he has here, as I understand it, this was eliminated for two reasons. First, the PA didn't like the embarrassment of somebody being picked last. And second, the NHL didn't like the fact that alcohol was consumed in 2016 because it took things too close to the line. He says here, the second one is easy to resolve. Being picked last, it happens to everyone. We got to have thicker skins than that. And all when it comes to the last person I think, picked, because they did that for 2 years, I think, the draft.
I think so, yeah.
And I remember exactly who was picked last for both those. It was Phil Kessel of the Toronto Maple Leafs at the time. And oh no, it wasn't Ovechkin. He was wanting to get picked last that year, but it was Kessel instead, just to fuck with Ovi. But either way, like there's great stories out of that. And I don't think any, who was the other player picked last?
Yeah, I think everybody just they just had fun with it, and they don't care. They're just, at that point, they were just happy to be going. That's changed now, but at that point, players were actually excited to go to those games. So yeah, I think it's a lot of, I don't think they really care. Like they know who's the best. Every NHL player could rank every other NHL player, I'm sure, and they would come up generally with the same order. Like everybody knows who's the best, who's better than other players. So just look at the salaries. Yeah, it's not perfect, but if you want fairness, everybody just gets paid a flat $5 million, $6 million to play in the NHL. That's obviously not how it works. The better players get paid more, and the worst players get paid less, and nobody's bitching about that. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Taking a look here. Okay, so Team Chara won the puck flip in 2012, which was Alfredsson versus Chara, and selected first. So the last player selected by Team Alfredsson was just a young Logan Couture.
Yeah, I don't think he was mad about being picked last. He was probably just be happy to picked.
Yeah, exactly. You know who was picked before him? Like the last pick by Team Chara? A guy that just hit 1,000 games, and Jamie Benn.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's fine.
Like, I don't think that they're, whoa, me, I got picked last in the All-Star game. You're at the fucking All-Star game.
Yeah, you got picked by one of the best players in the NHL to play on your team in Chara and Alfredsson. Like, you're stoked that they even know your name if you're Logan Couture.
Yeah, exactly. Which, yeah, how old would he have been at the time? Or like how many seasons was he even in at that point?
2, maybe 3.
Taking a look here. What did I say? The 2012?
2012, yeah.
Yeah, so he was in the middle of his 3rd season.
the 11-12
NHL.
season. The 11-12 season was Couture's third. Yeah. So
where he put up 65 points in 80 games.
Yeah, there you go. So
I don't think he was too upset after the fact. At the same time, though, the NHL, not liking the fact that alcohol was being consumed or whatever. Okay, I do get that to a point.
Did they consume it at the draft?
Oh yeah, like on TV, they were drinking and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fine. Just do like what they do on other shows and just put it in like
the players are having a good time.
Fuck, put it in a BioSteel container. Who gives a shit? Right? Just like you can't tell me that
like the BioSteel punch bowl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Put it in those green Gatorade bottles, like for all I care. Yeah. Like no one's gonna know that. Like, who cares? Come on. Going back to having thicker skin, like
you know what? If the NHL does bring the draft back for the All-Star game, I want to see because, and you know what? Like, yes, we are sponsored by DraftKings, but I want to see after every round, so every 2 picks, I want to see NHL players putting in their bet for DraftKings, for BetMGM, whatever, for who is going to get picked next.
You know, I want them. I
want to see that.
Yeah, honestly, I would
over some guys, enjoying a drink, hanging out with other fucking NHL All-Stars. God forbid they have a couple drinks and actually be entertaining, right?
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't even be mad if they picked teams, frat boy beer pong style, where honestly, you know what, everybody has their name on a beer can. You put your beer can on a dartboard, which is just an old piece of like plywood that someone had in their garage, and you're just throwing darts at it.
Yep.
And then that's who your team is. And then, once your can gets hit, you have to go and shotgun a beer and then put the jersey on that you just got of the team you just got drafted to. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Let's do that. That'd be awesome.
No, because the NHL wants to have a secondary accuracy shooting competition, whether it's the blackjack game or, hey, we're going to shoot at surfboards and then go try to dunk somebody.
Yeah.
Have them shoot pucks at the cans. Whichever one you hit, that's the guy you're taking.
Yeah, you start with Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, and Nathan McKinnon in the middle, and then you branch out to the other guys, or you do those, and then like around the edge, you have like some of the worst guys in the league that are like not like worst, but like some of the lower tier All-Stars. So it's like, oh, do you want to go for McDavid in the middle?
Lower tier All-Star. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah. Do you want to go to McDavid because if you shoot just a little bit to the left, you might end up with, I don't know,
Leon Draisaitl.
Well. Sure. I wasn't going to go with the second best player in the league. I was going to go with like, I don't know.
Oh, so sorry, Nathan McKinnon then.
No. I'm saying you have those guys in the middle, and then like around the outer edge, you have like, I'm trying to think of the guys that were there that like weren't as good. I mean, we already kind of shit on Troy Terry last episode.
Erik Karlsson.
So Erik Karlsson, yeah. John Klingberg. Yeah, maybe it's Connor McDavid, and then just below is John Klingberg. So if you're a little low, you end up with John Klingberg. There. Well, I don't know. You can spice it up.
You got Nick Suzuki. You got Clayton Keller.
Yeah,
Jason Robertson. Like, it's the All-Star game. The whole thing is supposed to be fun for kids and sponsors.
Yeah,
basically, right? But you can still tailor it to the general hockey fan between the ages of 18 and 50.
Yeah,
right. Like you can still make it enjoyable for them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it'll still be enjoyable for the sponsors and for the kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, it's a bad look for the NHL when it's like, oh yeah, here's this like the fun event of the year, like keyword on the fun part of it, right? Like it's not like, oh yeah, watching hockey's fun. It's like, yeah, like, we're here to have some fun and showcase some stuff, right? And just have a good time. And it looks barren in the arena. In the seats, because everybody else is off at the rum bar instead.
Yeah,
which actually is a thing that was happening.
It's the case. Yeah,
that is the case. Sure. So
yeah. Here we go. These were the names I was looking for, like Larkin and Laine. Yeah.
So
still good players, but they're not like
captain of the Detroit Red Wings, Dylan Larkin,
but like instead of Sidney Crosby, if you were going for Sidney Crosby and you got Larkin, then it's like, I don't know. It would just be like fun that way. It would add to the experience, I think. But, yeah. I guess we were talking about the AHL and then we weren't talking about the AHL, but now we are going to be talking about the AHL again.
The AHL for the All-Star game to relate back to the topic of the NHL All-Star weekend that we had just had.
But now we're going to go to the AHL again, and we're going to talk about the San Diego Gulls and just how they were doing in their couple games before the AHL All-Star weekend. Both of them losses to the Coachella Valley Firebirds, 2-1 and 4-0. So, what else is new?
Oof. Oof.
Yeah. They will be facing the Bakersfield Condors on the 11th of February, and that will be in Bakersfield, and then they will be at home to the Tucson Roadrunners on the 14th. So if you're out there looking for a date idea for your Valentine, just take them to a San Diego Gulls game.
There you go.
Nate, can I take you to a Gulls game?
Yeah, sure, but you're paying for like everything down there. Everything to get down there too.
Fair.
But then yes, I'm sure our girlfriends would be very understanding, right?
Oh yeah, there's no problem at all. I can't see that being any sort of issue.
They can take the reservation I have booked. It's all good.
Yeah. The Gulls are still sitting 10th in the Pacific Division, 12-34-0 record. So yeah. And then, Nate, if you want to go through the top 5 players on the Ducks, not that it's really changed, but, their numbers have, just not their names.
Yeah, so fifth spot there, you got Braden Tracy with 20 points. Number 4 is Michael Delzato with 25. 15 of those coming in his 18 games with San Diego. You got our boy Bo Grew with 29 points. Nicholas Brouillard with 30, and Rocco Grimaldi still leading the way with 42.
Nice.
Just that massive jump of 30 to 42 there.
Yeah, right.
Love it. Love it.
Almost a point per game pace.
Yep.
Almost.
But not worthy of an NHL contract. Got to go for Jason Megna.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be a slight on Megna, but it's like, come on.
Yeah. We just switch those two guys. Please.
And your goalies, Ole Eriksson Ek has played 13 games this season, has a 479 goals against average and an 851 save percentage. And then you have AHL All-Star Lucas Dostal, having played 33 games, a 304 goals against and a 910 save percentage.
Nice.
Again, on a team that is 12-34-0.
Can you imagine having a 910 save percentage, but not even close to
I'm good, but the rest
record?
Of my team sucks.
Yeah, a 10-21 record, but a 910 save percentage and 3 shutouts. It's not his fault at all.
You know that Dostal and Wolf are sitting beside each other in the locker room there for the All-Star weekend, right? Dustin Wolf being on the Calgary Wranglers, who are fighting for first spot right now in the Pacific Division. Just going so what's it like to be good and also be on a good team?
Yeah.
What's it like to be knocking on the door of Jacob Markstrom or John Gibson and being like, hey, I'm ready to come take the job here soon.
Yeah.
Just what's that like? But to have a team surrounding you, what's that like?
Yeah. Yeah, that is what's going on down in San Diego this week. Going back to Anaheim, a couple upcoming games to talk about here. Friday against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That will be at home, 7 p.m. Pacific time for that one. And then I guess, we can do score predictions for that. And that's usually how we do it, I suppose. Nate, you got a score prediction against the Penguins?
Penguins are 4-3-3 in their last 10. We will be seeing them at home, and their road record is 10-10-5. Okay. Given how Anaheim's been doing lately, I don't think it's wrong to say that they might get a point out of Pittsburgh.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go for an Anaheim win. I'm going to call. Let's go 4-3.
Okay.
Crosby and Malkin are still a factor.
Yeah. I'm also going to call an Anaheim win. I was also thinking get away with a point. I was debating between 5-4 and 4-3, so I'm glad that you picked 4-3 so that I can be a little different and pick 5-4.
All right.
Yeah. Friday night blowout there in Yeah, I guess at Honda Center they 5-4. I think shootout if I had to pick.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Some Casey DeSmith versus John Gibson action.
Yeah. Could see it.
Because I believe
is Jari still out?
I believe Jari's still out.
I think so. Yeah. But I mean, still a couple days for that to change. So,
you know what? Let me double check the lineups actually before we have those.
You know what? That's fair. That's a good
locked in, I guess.
Yeah. Last I've heard, he was still out though. So.
Oh, good. We got our buddy Rick Rack coming back.
Oh, that's right. And former Anaheim Duck Danton Heinen as well.
Yes,
He's
that
not
is
a healthy
true.
scratch, which he might be.
Yeah, Casey DeSmith and Dustin Tokarski are the goaltenders currently for the Penguins. So
one of those two then.
Yeah. The only other injured Penguin right now is Jan Ruta.
Okay.
That's a dangerous power play. Please don't take any penalties.
Oh, yeah.
Zegras, I'm looking at you in particular. No penalties. Because I really don't think that John Gibson wants to deal with Sidney Crosby, Jake Gensel, Ricard Raquel, Chris Letang, and Evgeny Malkin as a first power play unit.
They're only 15th in the league, 22.5%, which, like, still good.
It's going to be God tier against the Ducks.
Well, yeah, I guess. Every power play is God tier against.
And I don't think I'd want to play the second one either of Jeff Carter, Brian Rust, Jason Zucker, Kasperi Kapanen, and Jeff Petrie.
Yeah, that's not bad either, I suppose.
I want to deal with that.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of things we don't want to deal with, welcome back. I guess not welcome back to town. Welcome back to Vegas, Anaheim Ducks, because we're heading back there for another game on Sunday, your afternoon matinee. So if you are just, out in Vegas on the town, stumbling home from the strip club at 10 in the morning,
hey, you're 2 hours away from a game.
Yeah, stop in at a Denny's, grab some brunch, and then head on over to T-Mobile Arena and, catch a game, afternoon game, 1 p.m. No, sorry, noon Pacific. Where did it go? Noon Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah. And we have not been good against Vegas so far this year.
No, but it's okay because we've been doing better than Vegas in the last 10. Vegas 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. Still sitting first in the Pacific, but only by a point, and Seattle has 2 games on them.
Yeah. No, yeah, they're very close for sure. So, I take back what I said. Yes, we lost 4-0 to them back in October, but then we beat them in a shootout 3-2, December 28th, which I forgot about. And then this is the third and final matchup here. So the rubber match to determine if the Ducks or the Vegas Golden Knights are better, I suppose.
Yeah, and the Golden Knights are interesting this season where they've been spectacular on the road. But the Vegas Flu seems to be no more. They're 14-13-0 at home.
Interesting.
But they're 16-5-4 on the road.
Wow.
So, yeah. And with that last 10 of 3-5-2, I don't know if we've had a show yet that I've called back-to-back Anaheim wins, but I think I'm going to do it.
Really? Let's
I'm going to go 3-1 for Anaheim.
3-1 Anaheim. Alrighty. So you're calling regulation win?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You serious?
Yep. I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm serious, JJ.
All right.
As serious as you are about those pictures of Spider-Man.
Because I would also feel weird about calling back-to-back Anaheim wins, and then we would also be predicting another 3-game win streak, which would it feels wrong to do, like 7-game point streak, and then 2 3-game winning streaks in 7 games. Like, I guess it's not impossible, but I'm saying 4-2 for Vegas.
All right.
Still a close game. Well, as close as it can be when you're the Anaheim Ducks, but I just don't. I just don't see it happening. And then also, you know, Vegas is kind of beat up, but they're still a good team. So, yeah, I guess for those that are unaware of what's going on in Vegas as well, Mark Stone out with an injury. We kind of talked about that earlier. Logan Thompson still having a phenomenal rookie campaign, and Jack Eichel hasn't been super duper Jack Eichel this year. Like, he's still been fine, but like, I think he's still under a point per game pace, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up.
Well, you do that. Andrew says 5-4 in OT against Vegas.
Ooh, all right.
For Vegas as well. So, I could see that too, honestly. Like, similar to Pittsburgh, where it's a close game. We managed to take it to overtime, but it just goes the other way. Yeah,
Eichel is still sitting. He's just below a point per game pace. 34 points in 39 games played this season. But yeah, his last 5 games, no points. In contests against the Arizona Coyotes, New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, New York Islanders, and the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, so
the last time he had a point was January 19th, so 6 games ago versus the Detroit Red Wings. He put up a single assist. The last goal that he got was against Florida on January 12th.
So almost a month ago at this point. Wow. Which, to be fair, there was a bye week in there, but yeah.
Yep. Buffalo's sitting pretty happy with themselves right now.
I think so. Yeah. And I mean, I don't expect this to last for Eichel. Maybe a little growing pains with Vegas, but
yeah,
we'll see. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting anyways. Yeah, let's wrap up the episode, I suppose. I don't think I've missed anything. Don't think we've hit it all. So let's do some What's Quacking.
Yeah, just the What's Quacking. So this clip comes courtesy of the Edmonton Oilers. This is, as usual for coaches, post-game interviews. And a little bit of an interesting, slip of the tongue. Oh, that's not what I meant to say. By Mr. Jay Woodcroft last night when speaking about his team's performance, specifically Jack Campbell of goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers, and just about his game that night. So yeah, let's take a listen here to Jay here.
We can't hear that.
Oh, we can't hear it? Okay.
No.
My bad. Give me 2 seconds here for the technical difficulties. In
other words, a human error for forgetting to tick the checkbox.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there we go. It's because I shared it as a window, not as a tab. There we go.
I see.
Now we should be good. All right, here we go.
2 game that could have not been a 5-2 game if it wasn't for 2 big saves in the third period. How important were those in just stemming the tide of the push?
I thought they were big saves. But I would say this: Jack expects to make those saves, and we expect Jack to make those saves. And I just think he's laying good games down on top of.
He's laying what now, Jay?
Good what?
he's laying what?
And I just think he's laying good games down.
Those words are not close at all.
No, not even close. One more time here.
And I just think he's laying good games down on top.
He's laying good pipe. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell did not start the season off great for the Edmonton Oilers. He started laying down some dick and some good dick, and has done better in his last few games.
Yeah, I know this is What's Quacking, which is our Wednesday segment, but we're gonna steal from the Sunday segment here. And last night Jack Campbell just put up a big energy move
by just laying down some good dick.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, as long as he's not doing it with the Trevor Zegras action figure sex doll.
And we've come full circle, everybody.
There you
well
go.
Done. We set the whole episode up just for that. That was Nate's master plan all along there.
Yep.
We're gonna start with Trevor Zegras action figure blow up doll thing, going all the way back full circle to Jack Campbell. Oh yes.
Oh.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, Nate, if people want to, let you know about other players around the NHL that might be, having some or laying down some good games, where can they do that at?
You can do that on Twitter at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I'm available on Twitter as well. Not for any of those. Not for
he's
any,
available
those
to
things,
also
yeah.
lay down some good pipe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I was like, I really shouldn't. But you did, and I can't stop you from saying that. So, thank
Carter's
you. Oh
going
yeah,
back
at Carter
to,
_Potts POTTS _97 on Twitter. Yeah.
Going
What were
back
you
to the video dating. Got the cassettes.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Have a good week and go Ducks go.